honestly feel like your audio is like cutting out.
It's not cutting out. Mm-mm.
Did you hear him, Scott, or am I just crazy?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Fucking hell. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 33rd episode of the Digicast. And it's kind of funny because there's a funny backstory to this that I'll cover really quick because it's really late and we got to record this right now. So what happened was I was actually moving stuff into my new place. I'm moving, by the way. I got a house for rent, so that's great. Good news. Anyway, I was moving stuff and saw these two cats got into a Digicast server to record audio, and I was like, oh yeah, I can't do it tonight because I'm moving stuff. And then they recorded stuff anyway, which is fine. And then I got home and popped in halfway through, and it got kind of confusing and weird and crazy, and then we just started recording. So yeah, it's pretty late.
So me and Scott just talk for 30 minutes, but that talking is no longer is no longer in existence.
You deleted the audio. I was going to give you the option, but you just deleted it.
It's your podcast.
But I don't want to. Again, I don't want to be the guy who made you delete the audio.
But you were going to be the guy no matter what.
Let it go down in history that Jacob was not the guy who made you delete the audio of the Lost Digicast.
It doesn't matter anymore. We already deleted it. Today is now. Let's do some shit. Let's talk.
Jacob, Nathaniel, I just want you guys to know I love you both, and I don't want you to fight with each other. Okay?
Okay.
We're not fighting. We're okay.
Okay.
Oh, I thought we were fighting.
It's fine. But I suggest we just get down and dirty with these topic lists because I got to work in the morning and Scott's got to work in the morning.
Down and dirty. Let's do it.
I got work in the morning too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Wherever you guys want to start, I guess we can just start wherever you guys started on the Lost Digicast.
Lost Digicast.
Episode 32.5.
Forever lost to... This is version 4.9.
This is like our Super Mario Brothers 2, and you'll eventually get that.
Oh
man.
Down the line.
So the way that we started it in the Lost Digicast is I asked Nathaniel about his soon-to-be trip to E3.
Ooh. Yes. Yeah, I talked a little bit about my E3 trip. So I'm going to E3, as has been said about 5 times now. Anyway, what's pretty cool about this is I'm going to be going with a bunch of Nintendo YouTubers. We're all going to get a house. We're going to do a lot of collaborating videos. Obviously, we're going to go to E3, play some Mario Odyssey, hopefully there's more there aside from just Mario. So after that, like a day after that, I get back from LA. I come back here. Then I have to pick up another YouTube friend. He's going to be visiting for like a week. And then a few days after that, I'm going to another convention. And then June is over. And then June is just completely over. It's going to fly by in like one day.
That sounds insane.
And
I would love to join you, but I am currently, like we already stated, moving right now, and I actually just got back from a little mini vacation, so things are going crazy, which is why there hasn't been much on the channel lately. But I'm looking forward to checking out your collabs.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob, are you still in Pennsylvania, or where are you moving to?
Oh yes, I am actually. I'm just moving like 15 minutes from where I'm at now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not very far. That's actually what I was just doing. Like I said, I was just taking over I've been taking over little loads of stuff right now, and I just got this little late night surge to take some shit over. So that's what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's been fun, and I'm kind of a little slap happy right now. I'm not gonna lie. So hopefully, I'm gonna try my very hardest to stay on topic here. So let's dive into I don't know. Let's talk about that bullshit Nintendo voice chat. Let's talk about that thing.
Oh God, how for anyone that doesn't know what this thing is, basically it's Nintendo's solution to online because they still don't know how to voice chat. So basically, from what I can recall, correct me if I'm wrong, there's this little device, okay? You take one cord, with this device, you plug it into your Switch. Then you take another cord, you plug that into your phone. And then you take another cord, plug that's connected to your headset. So now you have 3 cords running with this one device just so you can talk to friends.
I would be so upset about the voice chat thing right now, except that before we started recording, I expelled huge amounts of rage. The audience doesn't know it, but I was screaming.
It was some good rage.
At the top of my lungs. I was flipping tables. I was freaking out.
I want to believe you, but I don't.
And I
want you to recreate that magic.
All the energy is gone, and it's very late, and I'm very tired. But yes, I have to say that in 2017, the proper way to do voice chat would have been you have the Switch and you have a wireless headset, and that's it. That's all you need. And if they were going to go the phone route, then they could have just had the phone connects wirelessly to the Switch. Why you have a cable that goes to a connector, that goes to a headset, that goes to your phone and back, I don't understand, and I cannot wrap my mind around.
Because it's Nintendo, and that's really all we need to say.
But
is that it's Nintendo.
But I love so much stuff about Nintendo right now, and I love how they're approaching the Switch. But this is that one thing that just
Scott, it's Nintendo.
I know, but you see, this is like the only thing.
Scott, I just need you to accept the fact that we're talking about Nintendo.
Yeah, but I like Nintendo most of the time lately. That's the weird part about it.
That you see that door that you're probably looking at right now in your room, just throw it out the door. Just take that logic and just chuck it out the door, because that's where Nintendo is. They're not in the room with logic. They're outside the room in the realm of logic. And unfortunately, we can't do anything about that.
But to be fair, no one's even going to buy this thing because we all just use Discord or Skype to play games online.
Yes,
I
exactly.
can't wait to see this thing go for like $500 on eBay. Because it's probably going to happen.
This is going to be like the Power Glove. It's going to be the most rare, just treasured thing 20 years from now. But right now, everyone hates it.
My friend, you have just described something that is so beautiful, and I cannot unsee it.
What, the Power Glove? Or just
the Power Glove.
Or just the idea that this thing will be coveted and treasured.
I'm so overjoyed that I'm actually going to get to live through a Power Glove, because I didn't get to live through the original, and it's just always been one of my most desired moments to live through in history.
To live through the Power Glove?
To live through the Power Glove.
Wow.
I'd like to
be
the Power Glove.
Like what he's saying is this thing is like the modern Power Glove, and we actually get to live through it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
That's what he's saying.
It's great.
Except that the Power Glove has this charm to it, and this thing is like a Happy Meal toy that will just fall out of everyone's minds eventually. But like while it's in your house,
it looks like a squid, Scott.
Yeah, it's like a Happy Meal toy. So like right now, when it's in your house, you'll look at this thing and you'll be like, "Oh yeah, I got this with the little value meal or whatever. And play Splatoon with it." But like 20 years from now, you're going to be like, "What the hell is this?" And you're just going to throw it away.
I feel so uneasy that you got that close to the microphone. It's like I could feel you brushing your lips up against my ear.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, but this thing is just so horrendous. I mean, when I saw it, it's sad. We're at that point now when I see shit like this, I just can't help but just be like, "Oh, Nintendo. Oh, Nintendo. Oh,
you're having one of those days, Nintendo. It's just one of those days.
It sure is a knee slapper." But we're going to get over it. We're going to recover. We don't have to worry about this whole voice chat thing. Everyone's just going to ignore it anyway. So
we're going to recover. We're going to rebuild. We're going to make America great again.
We're going to expand. We're going to take our arms, and we're going to have big, beautiful arms. They're going to stretch out. They're going to reach out into the infinity forever.
And we're not going to have small hands. We're not going to be Ninjara. We're going to be nothing but Min-Mins. We're going to have really big hands, everyone. And booty. That is right. And booty. There's nothing wrong with a little booty.
Oh, that's what's going to sell that game.
So, Jacob.
That Twin Tail booty.
It's fine. I don't really have much to say about it. It's a well-sculpted booty.
No, my question, that was not...
There's a lot of polygons on that booty,
Jacob,
and I appreciate
my question,
who rendered those polygons.
My question to you, sir, is... What did you think of your experience with ARMS, and are you going to purchase this title, sir?
ARMS is great. I love it. I'm going to purchase it day one. I've actually transferred my Splatoon 2 pre-order to it, and I couldn't be any happier with it.
If you're kind of on the fence and you like fighting games, try this game. I wouldn't say I would guarantee. You're probably going to enjoy it to some sort of extent, because this really just changes the ball game in terms of fighters. There's nothing that's like it. I mean, it kind of reminds me of something like Rocket League or Splatoon or Overwatch, just in the way that the game just kind of feels. Like, it just kind of feels like, in terms of Overwatch, like, the characters are all really, really exciting. There's just a lot to them. They're very distinct, very easy to remember once you played as them a little bit. Then with Rocket League, it's just really, really addicting gameplay. Of course, with Splatoon, there's going to be free DLC with ARMS, just like Splatoon had, which is really, really cool. Honestly, I'm kind of curious, like, how often do you think they're going to push out the free DLC for ARMS?
I really hope it's monthly, because that's definitely going to be a game that lives on due to the fact that people are playing it online continuously, because I don't see this game having a lot of single-player stuff.
It doesn't.
But
that's one of the lacking features of the game, actually. Like, there is some single-player... I don't want to go into too many details, just not to spoil. You'll be playing the game for a little bit to unlock all the arms and whatnot, but in terms of the other game modes, they're not... I don't think they're going to be very fulfilling in comparison to the main game, which isn't that big a deal, because this is meant to be, I would say, more of a local or online type of game.
So would you say that ARMS is going to drop a sweet, sultry load inside of me with good content, or would you say that it's going to just leave me dry and hanging?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both.
Let me rephrase that. Do you think ARMS is going to be a good single-player experience, or do you think it's primarily multiplayer, and do you think that someone who isn't a fan of multiplayer should get it?
Oh, it's all about multiplayer. Even if you don't like it, like, seriously, the game runs beautifully online. Like, you guys, I mean, I'm not sure how the servers were with Global Test Punch, but yeah. Like, with the actual full game...
It was good. I liked it.
Yeah, with the actual full game, the matchmaking is incredibly fast. It's kind of insane. It's faster than, like, Mario Kart, and that's already pretty quick. Like, you're in a match within, like, 10, 15 seconds at the most. It's crazy.
That's good. That was really my only complaint about the Test Punch, is it did take a while to get into a match, but whenever I was in a match, I never had
no lag
or anything of the latter, or like... So it was great. Again, my experience with the game was just, I really don't have anything but positive stuff to say about it now. Like, because I only did the Global Test Punch, like most people out there, I only got to play just a standard multiplayer and then some of the volleyball. But what I played, everything was just phenomenally well done. I see this game as Smash because it's deep, because you can create your own combos and you can do all your own moves, and you don't have just this list of crap to memorize like with Street Fighter and with Mortal Kombat. But again, like, I love games where you can just make your own combos and the gameplay is simple enough that anyone can kind of get behind it, but deep enough to where it's really hard to master, and this game is definitely going to be really challenging to master.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I cannot wait to get my hands on it, or my arms on it.
Nathaniel, I have a question though, because when you're talking about how long you'll be playing the single player, you probably said the same thing about like Mario Kart, but the thing that I know about you and Mario Kart is that you like crank like 50 or 60 hours into that game. So I want to know, like, in terms of an hour's estimate, how long do you think it would take to unlock everything in ARMS single player, or can you say that?
Good question. It's going to take a lot longer to unlock everything than playing through Mario Kart, that's for sure, because every character only starts off with 3 arms, but there's around, I forget the actual name, I think there's over 20 arms available for every character, so you have to individually unlock every single arm for every character, and the only way to do that is by collecting these coins. And how do you get the coins? You have to play the Grand Prix or the online mode, and per match, you're only going to get about 1 to 4 coins per match, and in order to unlock these arms, you need at a minimum 30 coins. And it's really weird how it all works. There's basically like this little mini game you have to play. You hit some targets, and as the targets are falling, you'll have the option to also hit these little presents, and the presents have the arms in them. So it takes forever to unlock everything. I'm probably never going to unlock every single arm, but in terms of hours, how long it's going to take, I don't know. It's lots of hours. It's going to take forever to get every arm for every character.
Okay, but I mean, if you're talking about 50 or 60 hours, that's really not bad in my opinion.
Well,
like, I mean,
yeah,
if it's already
many
more
games
than that.
nowadays are like 10 to 15, so I mean,
and you know,
fine.
it's really not. It's
unless
not that.
If I have any sort of fun with this, I'll feel like I got my money.
Unless that's just grinding, in which case, then maybe it's not so awesome. But still,
well, I don't think it's going to feel like grinding though, because you can get coins with online play. It's not a lot. It's usually only 1 or 2 coins, depending on if you win or lose. But you're still working on making progress to unlocking everything. So you don't just have to grind out, the Grand Prix over and over again. You can play online and have, fresh matches with people and just play for hours on end. And I think I don't know. I still don't know how I feel about the unlocking system, but I think overall it'll work out.
So, how would you say the overall soundtrack is? That's really the main thing I care about.
Not gonna lie, the only song I really like is the main theme. I'm not too fond of the other stuff because it's really not memorable. Like, it's okay. Like, it fits with, like, each stage, has their own song. It fits with the stage, but it's none of those songs are gonna stick in your head like the main theme does.
Man, that stinks because that main theme is so catchy. I'd listen to it every day.
But that's just
single day. That at least for a minute, I listen to it.
And that's just me, though. I mean, everyone else might love the music, and everyone would just be like, "What the hell's wrong with you? You don't like this?"
I'm sure I'll still like it, but man, that was one thing I was really looking forward to was the music, just because of that main theme was just so strong.
But you know what though? Like, everyone's going to just remember that main theme. Like, when people come away, if the rest of the soundtrack doesn't hold up, I'll tell you what's going to happen is, like, this is going to sell really well. People are going to buy the game, and then when they come out with a sequel, everyone's just going to be remembering that main theme anyway. So I don't think it's going to matter that much, and I think that it'll probably be a similar deal to Splatoon, and I think it's a totally accurate analogy to say that this is doing for fighting games what Splatoon did for shooters.
Yeah,
and that makes me excited.
And just real quick to go back to the music, I think it's purposefully more bland just because the matches themselves are so intense. You're not even paying attention to the music at all. You're purely focused on the match. Like, it is impossible to focus on, like, just background noise at all because they get, especially when you're facing higher difficulty levels, good luck because this game gets freaking hard. Like, level 6, level 7 computers, good luck. Seriously, like, it gets so difficult.
That's good to hear. That was something I liked about Smash 4 was the fact that the computers were actually hard.
Yeah, you'll appreciate the difficulty.
Challenging.
Yeah, you'll appreciate difficulty. It takes pure skill to make progress in Grand Prix on harder levels.
All right. I like to hear that. That's a good thing. Did you guys have anything more to say about ARMS? Because this would be a perfect transition into something that got announced today.
What got announced today?
Pokken Tournament.
DX.
It's coming to Switch September 22nd.
Not surprised at all.
Yeah. Pokken Tournament.
Yeah. I really don't have much to say other than, like, cool.
Yeah, are any of us Pokemon fans here? I don't think so.
Nah.
I mean, I like Pokemon. I was more excited about the fact that Gold and Silver are getting re-released than, like, that.
Yeah.
But that was just my awesome transitional skills, and I would just like to show those to everyone.
I mean,
on the podcast.
So I know that, like, people were disappointed about the fact that we're not getting the main Pokemon games coming to Switch, and we're just getting Tournament. Do you guys think that's a big deal? I don't think it's a big deal. But
not yet.
You think it's a big
It'll
deal?
be a big deal if they don't have the main Pokemon game by, like, 2019. Because by then it'll just be like, what are you doing, Nintendo? Do you really, really not like money? Like, seriously, are you trying to go bankrupt?
I think it's cool. This is really the only thing I was thinking of today. I think it's cool that you can play every single mainline game on the 3DS, except for Ruby and Sapphire.
You can, though. There's Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire.
You can play. Well, yeah, I meant besides those. Like, now you can play Red, Blue, and Yellow. You can play Gold, Silver, not Crystal, but oh well. You can play the remakes of Ruby and Sapphire. You can play all the DS ones, and you can play all the 3DS ones. So, like, you now have one console that can play every single Pokemon game in existence, pretty much.
Wow, that's actually really cool. I didn't even think about that.
I was thinking about that in the shower while I was rinsing my body off, Nathaniel. Thought you'd like to know that since you're usually nude on these.
Well, thank you for telling me that. I appreciate that.
No problem. I think about very deep things while I'm scrubbing my raw skin.
You know, I used to think about stuff like that in the shower, but now it's just like, oh, fuck, I gotta get out of here and do shit. Those are my shower thoughts.
Oh, we have those too. Well, yeah, so that's really all I have to say about the Pokemon Direct. Nothing really much happened. Pokken Tournament's fun, but it's another Wii U game. I'm glad they're bringing it, but as a
it's nice
Wii U owner, I don't really care.
Yeah, it's nice that the game's on there, but I played it one time and I didn't touch it since.
So really? I actually played it quite a bit at my friend's house, and I liked it a lot, but it was just one of those things I never really bought because I just never got around to it. But it's fun, so I may get it for the Switch. But
I heard the
really
single player really sucked in that game.
It wasn't great. I mean, it was pretty much a multiplayer focused like fighting game, which unfortunately so many games are doing that nowadays. So that's kind of why I was hoping ARMS would have a lot more single player content. But it is what it is. So yeah, I'm sure I'll still like ARMS a lot. And it's unfortunate that it's coming out 4 days before Cave Story Plus comes out because I'm really excited about that game and I don't want to have to pick and choose. So
it's funny how ARMS comes out like 1 day after E3. Like that.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, like that's pretty, because there's going to be that ARMS tournament thing like 3 days before. That's some awesome promo material right there. Yeah, that tournament, and everyone's going to be like, "Ooh, I want the game."
Nintendo's marketing. Yeah,
yep.
I'm still again like super impressed with Nintendo's marketing and promotional team with the Switch. They've done such a good job. Have we reached the point where you guys are we now past like what you guys talked about or not?
Basically.
Well, I do still want to pick Nathaniel's brain, actually, and yours, Jacob, about Street Fighter 2. I want to know from you guys, what is your beef? What is your beef with Street Fighter 2?
I don't know.
Do you want to know my beef?
I want to know your beef.
You want me to grill that beef for you? Because I'll put it on there and I'll sauce that shit up.
I don't even know what's going on now, but
I don't really know
yeah, for Street Fighter 2, talk to me, talk it out.
Anyway, the context in our Discord chat, Scott was all excited about Street Fighter 2, and me and Jacob were like, "Ew, Street Fighter 2," and Scott was like, "Why are you saying it's ew?" And then we were basically just like, "Because it's not fun."
One of the greatest games of all time. And by the way, adjusted for inflation, the Street Fighter series at this point has earned over $3 billion.
Holy crap.
Calm down. Holy shit.
It is a fantastic series of games.
And you should see how much the Mario franchise has made in its lifetime.
Well,
Minecraft.
$3 billion is nothing to just dismiss, sir. Okay?
I'm not dismissing how much it made.
Okay.
I wasn't even saying it was bad. I was only saying Ultra Street Fighter 2 was kind of a lame port, in my honest opinion, for the price. That's really my only beef with it. But it's really not even that like overpriced. It's just honestly, I feel like it should be like a $25 or $30 game. But I mean, that's not really much cheaper than what it is. It's just I'm very meh on it just because like it's Street Fighter 2. I don't really know what more I was expecting, but I was expecting a little more than, oh, it's Street Fighter 2.
Street Fighter 2.
It's not like it's a game that's been remade 50,000 times. It's not famous for being remade 1,000 times.
Yeah, totally.
Street Fighter 2 is an amazing game to this day.
It's good.
And
I wasn't saying it was bad.
What I found interesting about playing it is that when I played it, I realized just how much I like that game and still like it. And it was weird because I feel like when I'm playing Street Fighter 2 now, I feel like I like it more than I did even whenever I was young.
Good. I am nothing but happy for you, and I'm upset that I'm not having as much fun as you are because I like Street Fighter.
But I
grew up playing Street Fighter 2.
But I think the part of it is that you guys mentioned like the way that combos work in the game, and we made comparisons to like Smash Brothers. And at this point, we could also throw ARMS into the discussion as far as fighting games go. And I think that ARMS and Smash are, of course, much closer to each other in certain ways, whereas Street Fighter 2 has this very, very old kind of thinking as far as like, okay, when you're playing this game, the person who's going to be the most skilled is the person who's basically able to the most precisely nail like
remember and recycle
these complex combos. And it's not just recycle, like as far as competitive gaming goes, there have been so many tiny little tweaks to this game over time that have altered balance, and there's been so many big moments in the competitive scene for the game, stuff that I don't even know about, of course. Like I'm not a competitive Street Fighter 2 player, but I've watched competitive players play. And I know that, Smash has, of course, a competitive community, and I know that ARMS probably will as well. But Street Fighter 2 is certainly one of the oldest and most well established. And but yeah, like I said, like there's that totally different dimension to it where it's like with as far as the mechanics go against games like Smash and now ARMS, it's just a totally different thing. So I guess, you know, part of my question is like, you know, what is it that you guys don't like about how this older game works against stuff like Smash?
I just don't think it's fun, honestly. I mean, I did not play it when I was younger, so that might be part of it. I just did not get used to the way that fighting style worked. Like, I played Smash Bros. Even when I was like 8 years old. I never had Street Fighter 2 or Mortal Kombat or any of those kinds of games. So,
yeah, and
really,
Smash,
that's my
Smash
only
is
reason.
very different. Like when
Yeah.
Smash came out, it was very different
Like,
than any other fighting game previously.
Like, I think I don't like the game because I try to play Street Fighter 2 like it's Smash Bros. I push buttons and then things don't happen because you have to push buttons very accurately. There's very specific combinations to do certain things. And then when I started to try to get into it, I'm just like, holy crap, this is just a lot of memorization. And that's when I realized, okay, I don't really like this game. Which, you know, people enjoy that, which is okay. You know, people enjoy that, and that's okay. And there's nothing wrong with that style of fighting, but it's not for me. That basically, it's just not for me.
What I was gonna kind of bounce off of you and say that I think I used to like that more as a kid. I'm not really sure why. I don't really know. But I feel like as I'm getting older, I don't really want to devote as much time to Street Fighter 2, and you have to devote time to like you said, learning and memorizing and reusing those combos. And I still like the core gameplay of Street Fighter 2. I got this port because I thought it was going to be a much more in-depth and expanded upon port of Street Fighter 2. And like it is to an extent, but not a whole lot. Like there's the 2-on-1 mode that you can finally now play with Street Fighter 2, and then there's the color picker, and then there's the way of the Hado mode, whatever. That apparently is just complete dog shit, and I haven't played it yet. Because I'm kind of just trying to avoid playing it. But I mean, aside from that, there's just not much of anything else that wasn't already in like Turbo HD Remix that came out in I think 2008. So I mean, it is like if you are a massive fan of Street Fighter 2 and you've played it your whole life and you want the quintessential port of Street Fighter 2, then get this game. Then yes, get this game. But me, I like Street Fighter 2. I grew up playing it a lot with friends and I did enjoy it, but I think now that I've gotten older, I think some of my gaming tastes have changed a little bit and I'm just not as into it. So I really have not played it a whole lot because I'm just finding it harder to pick up and really like dive into.
I mean, with a lot of games, you know, talking about memorization, like there's so many games out there that require memorization just in different ways. You know, I don't, and I think that's probably true for Smash. Like, I don't know why it would make a difference to the experience of like memorizing the series of controls to get certain things done. It's like in different games, you might have a different process as far as knowing what to do, and maybe executing those precise controls are not quite as important. And this is genuinely interesting to me because it's like, as a designer, like I always have to ask questions like this, right? Like, why is it that for certain kinds of players, like these types of experiences are more interesting than these others? You know what I mean? So it's like, why is it?
The thing is, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that you mentioned that Smash might have memorization with button presses. That's not really true at all. With Smash, there is moving, the A button, the B button, throwing, and shielding. And with that, there is just a huge amount of freedom. You don't have to time anything right, because I believe in games like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, sometimes you have to like kind of delay your punch to do something. That doesn't really exist in this game, since just like basically you can make up your own combos, and you can't really do that in the older titles. So that is one really big difference. Like if you're watching competitive,
kind of can with like Street Fighter, but it's
well, to an
not nearly as
extent.
free and open as Smash is. Like I kind of agree with you on that. Like there are times
Yeah.
where I like to jump in Street Fighter 2 and follow it up with a kick and then do like a downward kick. But I mean, you're very limited in what you can do.
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
you have to input like 3 different buttons and then like you're saying have a timed like L press.
Right, yeah. And it's like just like watch competitive Melee. If the things that they are doing in that game would not be possible in like literally any other game ever. because that game gives you so much freedom to do so many different types of moves in such a short span of time. And that's what I really love about Smash Bros. That's really the only reason it's like the only fighting game that I like. So,
right. So
see, that's all. I like Soul Calibur for the same reasons I kind of like Smash. Like you have a little more freedom, and then the arena itself is a little more open, and that's the same reason I like ARMS, because I do. There are certain games where I don't mind being restricted to this just 2D plane and having just a very limited amount of space, but then there are times where I just really want to break free of that, and I want to actually like move around, which is kind of why I like Pokken as well. Pokken actually did a really good job of manipulating the plane and having like this 3-dimensional space for you to move around, but then you would break into like a 2D plane too. So Pokken did a really good job of that. Soul Calibur does a good job of that, and Tekken also kind of does a good job of that too. So those games I'm into, but I'm just not into as much as Smash, because Smash is just I like having the bigger area to move around in and this complete freedom to roam in the stage.
This has been very intense for about the past 5 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, is there a way that Street Fighter could have things introduced to it that would give it some more of those elements, so that you do have a little bit more freedom in terms of how you counteract things or how you construct combos and stuff like that? And if they were to do that, would it still be considered Street Fighter at the end of the day? Because the fans are already complaining about Street Fighter V and things like input lag and just like some of the ways that they chose to handle certain balance issues and things like that. So,
I think that they gave you a little more freedom in Street Fighter V, but I wouldn't necessarily think that it needs to be altered or changed a whole lot, because I mean there are people who like that, like yourself, like you like that type of fighting game. So I think that you need this type of fighting game to suit your needs. It's just me and Nathaniel are a little bit different, but like I still like Street Fighter. I go there for having my old arcade fighting needs met, but then I want to go to Smash for something that I'm just a little more in tune with.
Right. Well, anyway, we can move on. I think I've gotten you guys' 2 cents on Street Fighter 2.
I would like to say that was probably one of the greatest video game chats we've ever had on this show.
That was the most mature chat we've ever had, I think.
Probably. That was. I'm proud. I think we really accomplished a lot.
That's what happens when you have like different opinions about things. I think we agree too often, and then we
not that time.
That is something that I think that we kind of struggle with sometimes, because we all have this like a similar opinion on a lot of things, and whenever we have this these battling opinions, things come out and we learn more about each other and about humans. So you guys gonna get that Splatoon Pro controller?
Yes!
I probably will. Let me just, I want it.
The guy who creamed his pants was Nathaniel.
Yes,
that was me.
That was Nathaniel. I want the Splatoon controller, but I also want those neon yellow Joy-Cons.
I want those too.
Yeah, I kind of want them as well.
And I also have.
I just bought a massively expensive couch. I don't need these Joy-Cons. I don't need these.
I have several games I want to buy too.
They're so beautiful, though.
And I have to choose between all these things.
Oh, damn you, Nintendo, for making so many good things and making me choose. But then you drop the ball so goddamn hard on the voice chat.
I've also... We don't need to get back into the voice chat. I've also mentioned that, like, with the Switch, this is the first console that I have been, like, crazy about all the accessories I want. Like, I want the deluxe carry case. I want all these different controllers. I want like
because it's a handheld.
Yeah, I want like the stands and stuff like that. Like I want all of this stuff, and it's like I can see myself easily spending almost as much money on the accessories as I can with the games, and I've never experienced that before.
I actually added this up the other day. I think I've spent a total of over $600 on the Switch for everything.
Right.
Wow.
Because I was genuinely curious. I was like driving and I was just thinking about stuff and I was genuinely curious. But then again, some of that money was spent with gift cards. Some of that was spent with trade-ins and like credit that I had at GameStop. So really I didn't spend that much money, but it's the fact that I have purchased over $600 worth of product for a console I've only had for like 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, if you count
that much.
If you count a micro SD card, a handful of games, a pro controller, and the console, like all of that right there is easily over $500.
Yeah, and that's what I have. I have like 4 games. I have the console. I have a Pro Controller. I have a carrying case. I have an SD card.
Oh yeah.
I have a screen protector,
And it's all worth it.
I have 2 10-foot Type C cables.
Yeah, I actually just got an AC adapter for the Switch. So like I can plug it in.
I'm actually going to pick up a second dock whenever they come out, which is about another $100. So,
oh Lord,
good job, Nintendo.
$90 docks.
Yep. Is that the one that comes with the AC adapter and the HDMI cable? Or
I don't know.
Yeah, then that's the $90 one, right? Because the $60 one, again, like we've already stated this on the podcast, the $60 dock also has the AC adapter and the HDMI cable printed on the box, but it doesn't come with it in the box.
That's hilarious.
I just liked to revisit that slice of history for the Digicast again, because that's a thing, and we're not going to let that go away.
You know, there's just a few of these weird fails that pop in every now and then, and it's amidst all this other stuff that's so good, and I don't understand.
And again, it's Nintendo.
It's Nintendo. That's right.
That's just really all you can say. There's a few companies that you can do that with. Apple is one of them. You know, you can always be like, oh Apple.
Gosh.
Nintendo is another one of them. And I would like to say DC Comics.
Did any of you guys catch up with the Apple stuff a couple days ago?
Are you talking about the HomePod thing?
The HomePod. Yeah.
The HomePod. It's
HomePod.
basically Google Home.
Yep.
But
expensive.
Apple Home. Yeah, it's Google Home, but overpriced.
Yep.
I'm at a point where I just don't care what Apple is doing, and that's really sad.
Yeah. I remember when I used to actually care, but now it's just like, wow, I don't care anymore.
It's more of the same. That's why, and they have not resolved some of the basic flaws in their products that have been around for over 10 years now. And one of those things, like they just came out with this iMac that, to their credit, of course, it can do up to 18 cores, and they're advertising this right now. And 18 processing cores is fantastic, and that's monstrous. But like, honestly, like, there's just stuff like there's ports, there's the way that their software is so locked down, there's the limitations on the iPhone, and I just have all of these small problems with their ecosystem, and these are things that they have never fixed, and they've stuck around.
Yeah. They have such a locked system mentality, and that is something that is just bled over from Steve Jobs. And as much as I love Steve Jobs and respect the guy for what he did to the electronic industry, I have never been able to stand that aspect of him, is his whole, like, technology is beauty and it's perfect and we shouldn't touch it or expand upon it. You know, like, that's always bothered me.
The thing I did like about Jobs, though, is that he was, like, intensely obsessed and even aggravated with quality. And
oh yeah, and that's a little bit of what I was stressing.
Yeah,
is that, like, I like that aspect of Jobs, and I liked his innovative aspect because he always pushed the limits of what it meant to be a phone or a music player or a computer. Nowadays, Apple just rehashes bullshit.
And now
they're just behind at this point. Like, they used to innovate in the industry, and now they're like, okay, here's a thing that came out a year ago, but we're going to pretend it's brand new.
Yeah.
Well,
they've done that for the last, like, 5 years.
The biggest calamity that was even worse than the headphone jack was when they came out with the laptop that was super underpowered, but they still charged $2,000 for it just so that they could put that little touch bar in there. And
I hate their laptops.
That was
they used to have decent laptops, but then they got rid of all the goddamn ports. Like, there's no more normal USB ports. Of course, the power is completely proprietary to them. It's just absolutely ridiculous how proprietary all their crap is.
Okay. Look, we got to get back to video games. I love hating on Apple just as... I mean, you guys know I love hating on Apple, but...
We could turn this whole podcast into an Apple hatred podcast, and I'd be totally fine with that, and I would be able to keep up with that, and this is probably longer than an hour.
A couple games I want to ask about. Number 1, Sonic Mania.
Oh,
thoughts?
Jesus,
Give me...
Mother of God.
Give me... Oh.
I want that game so bad.
It's so fun, dude. Have you had a chance to play it anywhere?
Oh, no, Nathaniel, I'm not as popular
Nathaniel,
as you.
You're the only one, like, within probably 1,000 miles who has played that game.
Oh, well. It's really good.
Unless you know for certain that that's not the case. But
I want to play it so bad, guys.
It feels.
It just looks so much fun.
It feels and plays like a classic Sonic game. It's the first Sonic game I've genuinely been excited about for like over a decade now.
That makes me so happy to hear. Oh my god,
it's
that
great.
Makes me so happy to hear.
Oh, it's
I
so
love
fun.
Sonic 3 just so much. Just Sonic 3 and Knuckles is one of my favorite platformers of all time, and I'm so excited that it's fucking good.
This is basically Sonic 3, except it's animated better.
Are you guys really big
awesome.
Sonic fans though? Like,
No.
I like Sonic.
I mean, I'm not either.
I don't play him too often, but I love Sonic.
I think one of the only reasons I
like Sonic.
I think one of the only reasons I'm excited about Sonic Mania is that this is one of the only games of its type that we are getting within this certain time period on the Switch. And
I'm just so annoyed that it's not getting a physical release. That is the only thing that pisses me off about this game.
It's probably not going to be that large though, is it? As far as the download size?
I doubt it.
No, it's not that. It's just the fact that like I want a physical version.
Well,
of that
yeah,
game.
I mean, I can understand. Yeah.
And the annoying thing is, I know I'm probably going to buy it. The sales are going to be decent, and then a year down the line, they're going to release a physical version of it, and then I'm going to be like, well, here's my digital version.
What happened to Ukulele on the Switch, by the way? Do we know what's up with Ukulele right now?
I'm pretty sure that game's still supposed to come out on the Switch, but that hasn't happened yet.
I'm waiting for.
They're releasing a huge patch to fix a lot of the complaints people have.
Yeah.
And then I think they're going to release it on the Switch after that. But I think they're just working on the patch
at this point. I think I'm just going to buy Ukulele for the Switch. And yes, I still want to play Ukulele. No one is going to talk me out of it.
It's a fun game. I don't know why people had such problems with it. I really liked it, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, it had its issues, for sure. But, I mean, if you want a 90s platformer, that's exactly what you're going to get. And it has the same flaws as a 90s platformer. But I didn't mind.
I'm going to reserve my comments for after the update comes out and the Switch version launches because...
I mean, keep in mind, I played on PC and you didn't.
I'm so torn on that game still because there were times I was genuinely having fun with it and there were times where I actually hated it. Like the casino level, I absolutely hated that level. Like that level made me quit and sell the game. That is how much I hated it. I just couldn't do it anymore.
Did you say that you quit?
I was literally recording
and sold
up
the game?
to yes, I quit and sold the game. Like I played that level for 20 minutes and I was recording gameplay for my ukulele video and I got to the point where I was just groaning and yelling because I was just pissed off and annoyed. And I was like, I don't want to play this game anymore. Like, I just don't. And I'm only playing it so I can get gameplay. And the second I feel like I'm good, I'm literally going to quit and sell this because I just could not stand it anymore. Just the design of that level and the marsh level, I think is just shit. So shit. And I was going to deal with it like for one level, but like 2 levels in a row and the casino level being vastly worse than the marsh level, I was like, no, I can't do this.
The game gets a lot better once you unlock all the moves, because once you can fly everywhere, the casino level is actually really fun. But yeah, it does suck at first.
That's what I've heard. I plan to give it another try after the Switch version comes out and I can get it for a cheaper price. But until then, I'm just not even going to play it at all.
And do we have any thoughts about this Square Enix game that was announced called Lost Sphere, which is coming out in early 2018 for the Switch? And have you guys seen the trailer?
Very excited for that, actually.
I've never heard of it.
It is made by the same company who made I Am Setsuna, and I really hope this one gets a physical release. I really do, but if it doesn't, I'm gonna buy it anyway, just because that's actually something I've noticed with the Switch is I have had this massive, just strong urge to play RPGs because now I feel like I have the time. Because for the longest time now, I haven't wanted to dive into an RPG.
Yeah.
Unless like I just couldn't play it in any other form. Like with Final Fantasy 15, like I had to play that on a console.
Because you can do it on your lunch break now. You know.
Yeah, it's like now I feel like I just have so much more time to play these games that like I loved as a kid. Like I loved RPGs so much more as a kid, and as an adult, I just don't have the time for it. So now it's like, okay, I want like a big, massive adventure game for the Switch. And I want to get Breath of the Wild to fill that void, but I already played Breath of the Wild, and I'll get that eventually, but I don't want it right now.
And
this looks so
I've
great.
still not played I Am Setsuna. which I guess I should, right?
I haven't either, but I want to, but I have too much other stuff that I want to dive into right now.
And I think in Nathaniel's case, he has not been interested in an RPG except for, well, actually, I guess we don't even call Zelda an RPG at this point, do we? We don't.
It's not an RPG.
It's not an RPG.
It's like an action. It's
an
like
action
an action
adventure.
adventure.
But even in the case of Zelda, like it was hard to get Nathaniel just into Zelda, and then he was into Zelda for a short while, just for Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, for about a week, I really enjoyed it.
I don't think Nathaniel's been interested in RPGs since like Vietnam.
Vietnam, really?
So the problem, I don't hate RPGs. I really don't. The problem is when I start playing an RPG, I get really into it. Then I'll set it down for a little bit, and then I forget that it exists. And then a month later, I remember that I was playing that game, and I completely forget everything I was doing. And then I get pissed off because I'm like, oh crap, now I have to start all over because I'm not gonna remember anything I did, and I don't want to go through doing that.
I know so many people who did that with Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh, that game is
specifically
freaking huge, though. That's me for every single RPG, even like short ones. Because I'm so accustomed to playing games that I can just pick up and play anytime, and I don't have to play them all like sequentially. Like, there's only a couple games where they're kind of long and you have to play them, in a short span of time, like Last of Us, the new Tomb Raider, Resident Evil 4. I played all of those quickly, but those really kept me hooked in. RPGs don't keep me as hooked in as games like that. I don't know why, because I enjoy them. I don't know what it is, honestly. Just something about them, I just forget about them, and then...
A lot of RPGs just have very, very elongated gameplay that requires you to be intensely focused for long periods of time.
Actually, I never finished Final Fantasy VIII, and I tried multiple times to finish that entire game. I for some reason, I think I even started over, probably because of like having to come back to the first PlayStation or whatever. But to this day, I've never beaten Final Fantasy VIII, and I love that game. That's the funny thing.
See, I'm not a big fan of that, so I wouldn't blame you for not finishing that one.
Well,
I'm not the biggest fan of Final Fantasy VIII.
I loved it. I thought it was so fantastic. And I don't know, maybe if I went back to it now, I wouldn't think it's that great. But I know that when I was younger, I was just crazy about that game. But yeah, I got like 2/3 into it and then kind of got burnt out on it. And it was so long. And I think that's what kind of throws people off RPGs is just how many hours they're designed
really
to
long.
Suck out of your life.
I think what I'm going to eventually end up doing, because I want to play these games before I die, is I'm just going to end up streaming them instead. Yeah. So that way I'm forced to finish the game. Because whenever I'm streaming a specific game, I always finish them, no matter what. So maybe I'll start with the Mario and Luigi franchise and get through all of those, because I really want to play through those to start.
God.
Like, I've actually... That's another game that... Okay, Mario Luigi Superstar Saga. Freaking adored that game. Got like 10 hours in. Got pretty far.
I know you would love it.
Stopped playing it for a month. I don't even know what I was playing it on. I think I was playing it on the Wii U. I have no idea what happened.
Nathaniel, it made me so sad when you quit playing that game.
It made me sad
for the longest time to get you into an RPG, and I finally did, and you'd stop playing it, and I was like, Nathaniel, you love this game.
I know. Yeah, I'm gonna replay it eventually. I'm gonna get through all of it. I have to stream it. I think that's the only way I can do it.
Nathaniel, we're gonna combine powers, and we're gonna get through this together, buddy. Okay, it's gonna happen.
Oh man.
So
it's gonna happen.
So real quick, the audience probably knows that we're not really gonna do questions for this week because we're just trying to catch up on so much. And I realize now, looking at our topic list, there was one very, very, very important thing we've forgotten to talk about so far, and that is the Nintendo Switch paid online service coming in 2018. You pay $20 a year. How do we not talk about it? So
we got to talk about that.
Let's discuss this. $20 a year. It's basically like Netflix for the NES games and online service. I don't know what to think about it myself. But Jacob, what do you think about this?
I think you guys talked about this whenever I originally blurted into the lost Digicast.
Yeah, but we got to make sure it doesn't stay lost.
That Digicast is lost.
But anyway, so yeah. I like it, but I want to know more.
Right.
But I mean, $20 for a year is like, just give me whatever, and I'll be happy probably for that price. I mean, if that is actually just an accessible library of games with added online play, I mean, $20? Yeah. Like, yeah. Give me that.
Yeah, the low price is exciting, but it's also scary to me because, like, what if the online servers don't improve? Then people are going to be questioning, why am I paying extra money for a supposed online service when I'm having server issues? I feel like that could be a big issue, and I don't know if they're even going to bother addressing that because I know people are still having problems. They're having communication errors with, like, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And what if there's more online games that have problems like that, and people are paying $20 a year for this service? Granted, it's not a lot of money, but it's still extra money on top of the internet bill, paying for your electricity. It's just bill after bill after bill. So if we want to play the game, we have to pay a little extra for it. It needs to work. And Xbox Live and PlayStation Network have had that issue too, where they have games that aren't working properly. And people are paying $50, $60 a year for servers that are supposed to be, perfect.
I agree with that, and I was in the Lost Digicast, which we are now reiterating. The thing that I was bothered by is this idea of this NES library, and what I don't want to happen is I don't want to play. I don't just want to like pay for the Netflix of Nintendo essentially, and not get a virtual console, because we got this improved account system, and I want to be able to buy all these old games and then keep those old games for once.
They did say that it was going to be a virtual console too. Like, they were going to have both.
Yeah, like they're being way too vague with their online, which I don't like. Apparently the whole, playing NES games online, that's a separate feature on top of virtual console, which they have not discussed at all yet.
Yeah, I mean, we're still waiting on a lot of details about virtual console. There's a lot of open questions about all of this. But I mean, yeah, like I kind of agree. I don't want, like, I don't need this extra value proposition of like, hey, we're going to throw in some NES games. It's like, okay, like, but yeah, like Nathaniel said, like if I'm paying for online, then just give me really good online. You know what I mean? Like, don't worry about the NES games. Just give me a good virtual console. You already rolled out this improved account system. Just let me buy my games and then keep them. That would be a step above what you've done before anyway.
I feel the same way, but I'm just so excited about the fact that there's going to be old games that are like re-released with online play. Like that to me is just so cool. I just can't get over that.
It's cool.
Now that I can understand having to pay money for, because that probably will cost them a lot to keep up.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of recoding in that too.
Yeah. Although, like, I would be just as willing to like have that as kind of a separate thing. My issue with this is that it seems kind of confusing to just the average consumer to like include that in the online fee. It's like, am I paying for this NES library? Am I paying for good online service, or am I paying for both? And if I'm paying for both, what if I'm not happy with one or the other? You know what I mean? So that's my concern.
Hopefully we'll get more details. I'm guessing we're going to get most of the details during E3, even though it was delayed to 2018, which almost is a good thing, because that means they could have something really big up their sleeve, like, well, I don't know, GameCube Virtual Console, finally? What if that's something they're finally going to work on?
I'm just so excited I just want Game Boy Advance Virtual Console on my Switch.
That would be cool.
Bad.
Yeah.
I want something besides NES and Super Nintendo. Like, seriously, where is my Melee on the Switch? Where is Sunshine on the Switch? Like, where are these titles?
I've been wanting to replay Super Mario Sunshine for so long now, but I don't want to hook my Wii up. Like, I just don't. I don't want to plug that piece of shit in. I don't like the Wii, and I hate the fact that my GameCube games are played on it.
This might sound totally weird, but I'm really like super ready to go back and play, because for me, like I know Nathaniel does this like every other day pretty much, but like I'm ready to go back to Mario 64 and play it on the Switch at this point. And I, for whatever reason, I didn't really care about doing that on the Wii U. And of course, you guys already know I was completely absent for the Wii generation. So
I want to play Earthbound on the Switch.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Yes.
Now you're asking for too much.
That's about the one Super Nintendo game I'm like, okay, I want to actually, that and Link to the Past, I really want to replay on the Switch.
I mean, before you know
just
it,
because again, like I could just take it everywhere.
Before you know it, you'll be asking for Mother 3, and
that's too much, Scott. Like let's come on.
I mean, you were already asking for Earthbound, so I don't know what to tell you.
They'll probably release Earthbound for the Switch, and it's charge like $20 for it, and then it's gonna have online DRM. And it'll be locked, and you can't play it offline because Nintendo.
Oh my! What if there's DRM? Oh my god.
I hope there's DRM.
Oh,
Or I hope there's
there's
DRM.
gonna be
I never
DRM.
get enough of DRM.
I think
It's
I would
Nintendo.
just laugh.
There's gonna be DRM.
I want there to be DRM. I am just so excited for the aspect of having locked games and going through the frustrations of having to be connected online to play old games.
Super Mario Run Part 2 coming holiday 2018.
Oh,
Guys,
you know
I'm
what's
so
interesting?
excited.
When I was filming for something a couple weekends ago, I was at my old apartment. I don't have internet hooked up, and you want to know what I wanted to play? I wanted to play Super Mario Run because I had nothing else to play, and I couldn't play it because there was no internet where I was. God
And you had
damn
to
it,
use
Nintendo!
data.
I didn't even use. I used all of my data. It was all out. I literally had
you
no
you
internet.
already used all it.
Yeah, I used it because I had
Wow,
to
dude, you need to
upload.
sign up for that Verizon Unlimited plan.
Yeah.
Now that
That's not the point, though. The point is DRM sucks ass. That's the point.
now that the Verizon plug is out of the way, we should probably move toward ending the show.
Yeah. I would just like to say that before anyone thinks I was serious, no, I don't want DRM. I would like DRM just as much as I'd like someone to cover my penis in
Jacob,
and
they
marinara sauce and shoot it
they
off.
already
That's about how
thought
much
you
I
were
want it.
serious, and they already unsubscribed and stopped listening before you clarified that you're being sarcastic. So it's too late, sir.
I just wanted to get that out there and just to make sure that everyone knows that I'd rather have marinara sauce slapped on my penis and shot off and instead of getting online DRM. I would just like to say that.
Guess what time
Holy
it is? It is like literally the middle of the night for all of us.
Oh,
This
it's
is-
past
this
that.
is just
It's
for you
1:20
guys.
in the
And I have to
morning
work
right
in the morning. I got to go into the office. I got to wake up at 6 a.m. I got to be there by 7
shit.
o'clock. It's madness.
I gotta wake up at 7, so
Yeah, I wake up at
No.
9.
not much better.
Oh.
Oh, Nathaniel, that sucks.
I should probably get up earlier, but
I mean, when you've worked as hard as you have to get where you're at, you enjoy the luxuries of life.
Yeah, that's like my only luxury. I get to sleep in.
That's a pretty big luxury,
nice.
honestly.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I'm very thankful that I don't have to wake up early.
Enjoy that because you're making up for it by eating Papa John's every night, and that's something I would like to not have to do myself.
I actually have not eaten Papa John's in about 2 weeks.
Wow,
It's been a long
proud of
time
you,
for
dude.
me. Yeah. Yep.
I'm proud of you. I know what you're gonna get tomorrow now. A big, thick, sultry slice of Papa.
Well, actually, I haven't even been ordering pizza at Papa John's. I've just been getting like cheese sticks, and that's it. The cheese sticks are really good.
I don't know why. I just got this picture of you just like laying on your couch just with like 4 Red Bull cans on the ground with like just cheese sticks.
Because that's accurate.
Oh, man.
That's exactly what
And
he
now-
does.
It's kind
And
of
now
accurate.
I'm a little worried about you.
Well,
And then a cockroach is crawling up your shirt and you feed it a piece of cheese stick.
Oh my God.
oh wow, that went a little far. To be fair though, I'm no longer in that location with the cockroaches, so no more bugs. I'll never have to deal with
That's
them
good.
again.
Gosh. But you did
It got to the point where I was worried about you like making a skit and filming you fighting them
you did
off.
say that you had seen like 4 cockroaches during your time at this place. So,
I did
Like,
see
after
lots
you
of
left.
cockroaches.
yeah.
Well, when I visited for
Oh,
2 days,
yeah.
yeah.
You think maybe you took them with you, right? Like
Oh,
they-
yeah. I don't think
they
that's what
leached
what
on.
happened.
like they jumped into the Papa John's box. You took the box of Papa John's.
Well, I don't know.
with
I
you.
thought they sneaked into one of my backpacks or something.
You open up the box of Papa, and there you see all over your pizza. These roaches are just wreaking havoc.
That is just an
Thanks
awful
for giving me
nightmare to
nightmares.
think about.
That was some serious nightmare fuel, dude. Now I don't want to
Yeah.
ever eat pizza ever again.
Because now, when I think
Freaking-
about next time I get a hot, warm pizza, I'm gonna be terrified to open it up and see fucking roaches on it,
Thanks,
just
Scott.
all over it.
It's time to end the show, man. It is super late at night when we're recording this right now. We're not even
tell.
talking about video games now. We need to just.
I'm probably
We're
gonna
just kinda
walk over to my
talking.
fridge and down a Dr Pepper and just play The Binding of Isaac until I have to go to work.
That's an insane idea.
Wow.
And I think you should totally do it.
Cool.
Yeah, I might just pull an all-nighter and edit this all tonight.
Do it.
Boom. With that, let's do our promotional thing. So as always, I'm your host, Indy Jacob, and I upload on this channel that you're probably listening to this on, and you should check out my other videos too, because I do promise that I will get more out there. Right now, like I said before at the beginning of the show, I'm going through a lot of changes right now with moving and my job and stuff, so I'll eventually get back to a regular schedule, and being in my own place, I'll be able to hopefully get on like a weekly schedule or a bi-weekly schedule, so I'm looking forward to that. And with that, let's see. Nathaniel, what do you do on the interwebs?
Ooh, well, I make YouTube videos and I stream on Twitch. You should follow my YouTube. Just look up my name, Nathaniel Bandy. It's all about Nintendo. It's pretty dank. If you like streams, I stream a lot on YouTube and on Twitch. So follow me on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/Nathaniel Bandy. It's all just Nathaniel Bandy, okay? And I'm actually not striving for originality. So stop asking that in the comments, because everyone's like, why aren't you striving for originality anymore? Because I gave that dream up years ago, okay?
Okay.
We shouldn't be up this late doing a podcast. This is too late.
Nathaniel's not original at all
I don't know
anymore,
where
okay?
that came from. I'm not original.
Nothing
okay?
original.
Nope.
There's a lot of salt got poured all over this podcast. Scott, what would you like to tell people that you do?
I am a developer, and I'm making a video game. It's a real-time strategy game. You can check it out at ageofnomads.com. You can find me personally on Twitter at twitter.com/ScottLee. I also have a magnificent show here on the Indie Jacob channel, which you can find in a playlist. The show is called Gamefinity. I talk about lots of wonderful things there, like video game prices, which I feel very strongly about, and I generally will advocate for the high video game price. Street Fighter 2 is worth $40. Hold me back. I will say it to anybody. And yeah, that's what's happening. It is way too late right now. Holy.
It is very late. So with that, I think we're going to go.
Good night / good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, anybody. We love you. Thank you for listening.
And
definitely,
oh my god, the cards.
Go check out all the stuff. The end cards. Click one of the boxes that's on the screen right now.
I like the left one more, so you should click the left one
fantastic
first.
boxes. You'll be really entertained for a whole nother hour or more